Mm. You know, sometimes we spend so much time trying to fix our lives that we actually forget what truly matters. And I had to remind myself of that today. Maybe you do too. I used to look at other people's success, see other people being successful and celebrating, and I used to wonder, how come I'm not experiencing that? How come I'm not the one celebrating like they is, or why that I don't have what they have? But it's just I had to realize it's not my time to experience that yet. We all have different timelines, and I can't compare my life to somebody else's, if you know what I mean. We all go through different things at different times, so it was just their season, and it's not your season yet. It's not my season yet. I'm being patient. I'm still currently in my isolation transformation stage. The beginning of that was very difficult for me uh, at first because I had to get used to people not no, not receiving phone calls, not receiving texts, just phone just dry. And your phone being dry is a good thing. Being in that silence, being in that isolation where you can think properly, you can gather your thoughts correctly in peace, not caught up or exposed in other people's drama. Things that's not affecting you or anything, because being caught up in stuff like that can drain your energy. It made me sad that I've always been a loner, but when I started noticing the beginning of my isolation and transformation phase, when everything just started dropping off, things just started disappearing, people started disappearing. Uh, it was like, it was crazy at first because it was just like, it felt like things were just being taken away from me one thing at a time. But I already knew what it was. That was God doing that. That was God doing that. He was removing everything away from me that doesn't align with my higher self, because we can't control that. We cannot control that. We don't have control over who's going to be in our lives or not. We can try to. We try to every day, but at the end, we don't get the last say. We're not fully in control of that at all. So I had to learn that, and I had to embrace that. I had to really sit myself down. After my divorce of the 12 years, and when I became in uh, when I started being in a situation where I was alone, I had to really sit down with myself and all the feelings that I had, and I just really had to absorb and just embrace everything, because that was a major part of my transformation. That was a major part of my transformation, and I pulled through. I don't regret no experiences that I have in life that I've had. I don't regret none of it, because all of it shaped me into, you know, the mindset that I have today, which everything just made me sharper, stronger, more aware, and that's part of um becoming, that's part of like the transformation of you becoming your higher self, you have to go through, you have to be exposed to certain things that's going to shape you. Because once you reach that point to where you get to your higher self, there may be things that come across that you've seen before, things that look familiar. You've gained experience from these things already. So once you get to the point where you at your higher self, those things won't crumble you. Those things won't bring you down. Those things will not affect you because you've experienced it before. You already know what this is. You know what this is like. So it's nothing. You're gonna know how to handle it and move accordingly. But at 45, I'm still learning new things every day. I don't have everything figured out. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I do, because I don't. I'm learning something new every day. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful that I got a roof over my head, because it could always be worse. There was a time where I was homeless. Nobody knows that. I never really told nobody about that. I never told anybody. Yeah, I never told anybody about it. But it was a point in time in my life, a couple times where I was homeless. But you know what? The crazy thing about that is that my level of faith was was different back then, but I always had faith in God. But the faith that I had in God back then is not at the level where it's at now. It was lower back then. I still have faith, but it wasn't up to where it is right now. And things, now that I think back, things that I went through was him testing my faith to put me in that situation to where I could only really rely on him, so he can show me that he's there for me. And everything that I went through in my life was him preparing me for the person that I'm about to become on the other side of where he wants me to be. And that's something that we've all experienced. That's things that we all are experiencing right now. Wherever you are in life, you're supposed to be there. It's something you're supposed to learn from it. You're supposed to learn from wherever you are in life, because it's part of your transformation. And you can't forget that. You got to just stay with it, keep your head up, and just know that this God working. We don't always see and feel when he's working, but trust me, he's working every day. Every day. And now that I think back on all those old times, with everything that I've been through up until this point, it was just strengthening me, because the faith and the strength that I have now is crazy. Nothing gets to me like it used to. I was always a real calm person, but I think there was a time when the devil had me, and it was parts of the transformation, because I had to learn, I didn't know better, so I had to experience that, so I can look back. It was like, I remember when I was this person, you know, and looking back on it, I learned so much from that. It made me a better person. So everything you go through, you're supposed to experience to make you a better person. Like I said, you don't always see and feel when he's working. He has shown me so many times that he's there in my corner. Only thing that I had to do was increase my faith, let go, and let God. It's scary. It's a scary thing to just let go. because you feel like you're gonna lose everything if you can't have your hand on everything. You can't have you can't if you're gonna believe in God. If you say you believe in God, you gotta let go, loosen that grip, 100%. Let go of everything. You have to, because He ain't gonna put you through nothing that He ain't gonna bring you through. And just like right now, that's the stage that I'm in because He's shown me so many times, like I'm here testing your faith. Let your guard down. Let me in. And that's what I'm doing right now. It took a long time because, like I said, I was just so scared to let that grip go. But I'm glad I did because it's like He just seeing me, like I told you, just let go and let me handle everything. And that's just where I'm at with it right now. I just let God handle everything because, you're not supposed to worry about nothing because He already knows what you need. He already knows what you need long down the road before you even do. So that's why you go through those experiences because you can't see as far as God can see. So those experiences that you had and experiences that you're going through now, you're supposed to go through them. But you have to know that because if you don't, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to spaz out. You're going to lose your cool. You're going to lose it. So you have to embrace it. You have to know what you're going through, whatever it is that you're going through. You have to know why. Now, some of it is because of our bad decisions because we're not listening to Him. We're still trying to do our own thing and we're not listening. So guess what? Every time you ignore Him and you don't listen to, the download and you go and try to do your own thing, you're going to keep repeating that process over and over again until you learn. You're just going to keep being in the recycle of repeating things until you get it. And I went through that for some years. I had to learn, like, hey, no, you can't keep doing this because if you keep doing this, it's just going to be an ongoing, continuous loop. It's going to keep resetting. So I just had to learn to let Him be in control, stop comparing my life to other people, and just work on myself every day, work on becoming better than the person than I was yesterday. You got to meet Him halfway. Now it's time for me to get back in the gym. I've changed my eating habits. I'm just staying away from certain things and certain people. Not because I'm angry or mad at anybody. It's just because I notice the things that I need to become my higher self. And I have to get serious about it. We have to get serious about it. If it's a certain thing that you say you want to be in life, you gotta do the work. I wasn't doing the work. I was just saying I wanted things and I wasn't working on myself. I used to make excuses as to why I wasn't doing the things that I need to do to make myself better. But not anymore because we all getting older, you know. We can't hit no rewind button and make ourselves younger again. So every day has to count. You can't be wasting your time. And we have to really lock in and do the things that we need to do to get where we want to be. We only get one shot at this thing called life. One, we don't get two, we get one. So, yeah, I don't want to sit up here all day. I'm not trying to preach or anything. I'm just being real. My words might not come out correctly or the way I'm conveying the message, it might not seem uh, proper for you. You might not be digesting it, properly, but this is new for me. just being on camera, expressing myself. I'm not no, you know, professional, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it, but I'm just getting on here and just explaining a couple things. Like, if you feel like you're stuck, just know God didn't bring you into that situation for no reason. There's a reason why you're experiencing these things, and just know you're gonna make it through. And it's not gonna last forever. But you gotta be strong. You gotta believe in yourself. So have a good day, good night. Whenever you see this video, if you're struggling, if you're going through a hard time, just know everything's gonna be all right.